This is going to be a quick overview of ratios. First off, a definition of ratios is a ratio is a comparison of two quantities. That can be any two quantities. It can be boys to girls or girls to boys in a classroom. It can be shots made comparing to shots missed, or shots made comparing to how many shots I took overall. It can be a comparison of anything, how many pages I've read in a book comparing against how many pages I haven't read in the book. So as we talk about ratios, just remember that a ratio is a comparison of two things, two quantities. How much? How much of what? Let's take a quick and easy example here. Pretend I have 3 dots here, and they are going to be 3 red dots, and then I'm going to put 2 black dots. Okay, so we now have 2 quantities, and we can compare them. That's where a ratio comes in. So as we look at this, I would go 3 red dots to every 2 black dots. So the first way that I can write that is in word form. Okay, 3 to 2. That's how we say ratios. I have 17 girls to 15 boys in my classroom on a daily basis. So 3 to 2. I can also write this with a colon separating the two numbers. The colon in math denotes ratios. So you can write it 3 to 2 that way, or you can write it as a fraction, 3 to every 2. We will be using this as a fraction a lot as we go into ratio reasoning and rates and unit rates and things like that. But first off, this is just 3 different ways that you can write ratios to show this. If, for example, we were talking about shots made versus shots missed, say I make 6 out of 10 shots. 6 out of 10 shots. I can look at this a couple different ways. First, let's talk about the ratio. We want to compare two things. The ratio of shots made to overall shots took. So I would look at this, 6 to 10. I make 6 shots for every 10 I take. I can write this with a colon, 6 to 10, remembering that this is 6 shots for every 10 I take, or I can write this as a fraction. I make 6 shots out of every 10 I take. I can also compare this ratio a different way. I can say, oh, I took 10. How many did I miss? Am I making more than I missed? Let's compare those two. If I make 6 out of every 10 I take, that means for every 6 I make, I'm missing 4. So that would be written a little different way. I would have 6 makes to every 4 misses. 6 to 4, or 6 makes for every 4. Now, as you can tell, it's kind of hard to remember some of this. So, when we're doing ratios and rates, I'm going to have us write every time what we are talking about here. Okay. What are we comparing? Sure, 3 to 2. Oh man, I've forgotten already. Oh, 3 red dots to every 2 black dots. 6 makes, and so I would write that, 6 makes to every 10 shots. Or 6 makes to every 4, you got it, misses. Okay. So that way, and on this fraction, makes to misses, so that we know that we're comparing things, because that's what ratios are. Ratios, a comparison of two quantities. Hopefully that helps as you learn the 3 different ways to write ratios.